All right, guys. Fula coming to you with another commentary. I got a couple of clips that I just want to break down. This is going to be a long commentary, so you may, just fasten your seatbelts if you tune in for the whole thing. And maybe you may not tune in for the whole thing, but you know, just a typical day in the modern woman neighborhood, basically, that I want to explore, you know. So let's begin. Now, Bernice Burgos, I'm not gonna even cap. I think she's bomb. I think Bernice Burgos is bomb. I'm like, yeah, she look good, Afro Latina. You know what I mean? Like, I really do. I'm like, yeah, she pretty and stuff like that. But we all know that Bernice Burgos had work done. And, we all know that at this time, Bernice Burgos is saying hi to 40. That's the thing. Now, mind you, she's a grandmother at this time. And, you know, because of her life and what she, it was involved in, it's unfortunate that her daughter is following down the same path. You know, that's the one thing about the Western woman is that, unfortunately, the modern Western woman, she does not care if her own child treads down that path, like, and even encourages the child to tread down that path. And, I just find this very disturbing, because of the simple fact that, you know, in essence, they're teaching their kids to sell their souls. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it comes down to. So this is her daughter, and this is them twerking on TikTok. Let's look at it.
When you're teaching her the game, but she can't get ahead of herself.
The thing is that, um, there is no modesty whatsoever. There's no modesty. I mean, Bernice Burgos, she's dressed provocative. And, of course, her daughter is dressed provocative too. But mind you, her daughter already has a kid, And as you see, from their backdrop, they're doing pretty good. But it costs their souls, you know. That's the thing. It costs their souls to have what they have right now. And, I guess Western women's souls are for sale, at this point in time. And we're going to see more of that in the next breakdown that I do after this, inshallah. So rather than just say, yo, cut it out, chill out, she joins her daughter in the twerking action, instead of like chilling. So in essence, she's encouraging this lewd behavior and stuff like that. The thing is, the difference between like traditional African women dances where women may gyrate their hips and stuff like that. Like, for example, the dances from my neck of the woods, Batuku and Funana, they're not done to like to incite the male, like to incite males or anything like that. I mean, most of the dances are with, women, and they're surrounded in a circle, and it's more of a ceremonial type thing. It's more of a, you know, it's not meant to be sexual. It's not meant to, incite those feelings. It's a expression because during colonial times these dances were banned. So you can't really compare like African dances with with this dance because you know they're just being promiscuous at this time.
When you're teaching her the game, but
So now let's see what sexual liberation looks like and where it got a former porn star. Let's begin. Her name is Bree Olson.
The words are something that I didn't expect to affect me in my everyday life. So,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you were a porn star. Like, you have to understand that people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I saw her. Oh, yeah, she was on, I looked her up on Pornhub. You have to understand that that was going to happen, one way or another. And unfortunately, that, you were going to get maybe uh, offensive words because of your chosen profession or former profession.
so when I go out, I feel as if I'm wearing slut across my forehead. The names that people have called me, it's as if you could take out those names and print them and put a ribbon around my whole body of all the names and things that people say to me on the internet. That's how I feel when
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but, that comes with the territory of being a porn star, like being a former porn star. You have to be expected, like this is to be expected. You were a porn star. Now, although you believed in sexual liberation, you believed in doing what you want with your body. um of course there's going to be repercussions for that. There, of course, there's going to be, like, you know some people who are rather mean, who are rather rude, who, are going to say these type of things. Now, the feminists, of course, may say, well, this is in her past and she's looking towards the future. But it will never be in her past because she's one Google search away from someone looking at like her getting mowed down by one of her co-actors, you know.
I walk outside the door. I came from the adult industry, but then I transitioned into the mainstream industry, but I encountered a lot of issues with
Well, I mean, let's just be honest. There aren't too many porn stars who like go to like regular entertainment like pretty successfully. That's not really that common, to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, your reputation is pretty much like out there. So, I mean, you can't be expected to be like people to use you for work. I mean, you can't really expect that. You know, you can't really expect to be a mainstream actress, you know. It's not going to happen. You look at Karen Steffen, aka Superhead. She tried to go to the mainstream and that failed very badly.
My transition and people not accepting me into the mainstream world. So I have really gotten to the point where there are days to weeks at a time where I don't leave my house because I don't feel like facing the world of what has been created out there for me. I get so disappointed when I go out and
The difference between us guys and women is that, you know, we have to face the world regardless if we want to or not. You know, women, even her, after her porn career, and maybe she has money saved, that's why she will be able to stay in the house. They get the luxury of not having to face the world, you know, for the most part. There's always a beta male simp. They're always one beta male simp away from becoming becoming charity, you know. Charity meaning bills paid, hair done, nails done, makeup, even rent paid at a lot of times, despite their past, you know. They're always one like simp and beta male away from that, you know. A lot of people, and I'm just gonna say this, and granted, I have this line tattooed on my brain, you know, because when I listen to music and I digest what's being said, because usually I listen to something that is very important, that someone is saying something very important, that someone is saying a message. And one of the lines that really sticks out to me is, don't cry tears, they don't fly here. Meaning that there's no use to complaining. There's no use to moping around. There's no use to showing emotion. Because if you show emotion, the world will eat you up as a guy. But women are allowed to show emotion. She's allowed to do, you know, feel this way, not even have to face the world because of her entanglement in the porn industry and following sexual liberation. It's easier for a woman to be in the porn industry than it is a guy. For obvious reasons. But unfortunately, where the main success for a guy is being a gay porn actor. Well, let's continue.
A new friend and then it turns out they don't want to be my friend anymore, or I go out and, you know, I don't know, I just hear things and or witness things it's really easier for me just to stay inside my house and not put myself out there for hurt. That I gave up.
Well, at the end of the day, you made the choice to be a porn star. Like that was your choice. You made that choice to, go into the adult industry. You wanted quick money, you know. The movie Forrest Gump, is a prime example of like what these women can get away with. Now, granted, Forrest Gump, he was a little slow, right? But he loved this girl so much named Jenny, wrote to her, asked to marry her, said, "You don't know what love is." That's what Jenny said. Beat guys' asses who, would slap her. But she never reciprocated with this love until the cop carousel was up and her pH balance was down, and that she had AIDS from her drug escapades and what have you. It was already too late. And then she died. And he raised his son alone as a single father. So with her here, she wants, people to, she wants people to feel sorry for her. She wants people to be like, "Oh, I understand. Oh, it's all good. The past is the past." But again, I say the past is not the past because I can pull up her pornos, if I was like really interested in like watching her, like, that part. She can't ask her distributors, "Hey, can you not show me anymore? Hey, can you not make me searchable on Google?" It just doesn't work like that. So this is why it's going to be the way it is right now for her.
Between $30,000 and $60,000 a month, and I could just go back to porn today and still make that. I could go back to porn and make $20,000 just in 1 week if I wanted to this week, and I don't, because that's how much I don't want my photos on the internet.
Simple.
Well, the thing is she may feel this way right now, but she didn't feel this way when she was doing the pornos. But also, a lot of women don't share her sentiments, though. A lot of women have really taken advantage of the OnlyFans and are raking in beaucoup money from OnlyFans, People are paying for subscriptions, even one model who's past her prime is saying hi to 50 right now. Vita Guerrera, she has her OnlyFans. So it just goes to show you that a woman's soul is on sale most of the time, if the price is right. For her, I think she's trying to get her soul back, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Question, like, how would you like to be treated?
Oh my gosh, I've never thought about that. God, that is so simple. I guess, I would,
Well, as you see, women are very vulnerable creatures. And so, you know, her vulnerability has shown right now. But she says she doesn't have an idea of how she would like to be treated. So what this tells me is that because of her past career in the porn industry, she kind of forgot or became numb to like feelings, because when you're in that industry, I don't know if you're going to be really sexually attracted to the people you're performing with. You know what I mean? I really don't know. You know, there may be a possibility, but at the same time, you know, you're having sex for a living with people you share no feelings with or share no bond with. So you become numb of feelings, basically. But let's continue.
I wish that people would treat me how they would treat a married registered nurse with 2.5 kids. And
Okay, well, the thing is that, again, that could have been your choice. You could have went to become a registered nurse, but you decided not to. No disrespect, but, you know, men are maybe not going to want to have kids with you because of your past profession. You know, men are going to be like, dang, if I have kids with her, you know, I'm taking a big risk with my health. I don't know where her partners have been. If I have kids with her on career day, what are my kids going to say about what their mom used to do? So, with that being said, she can't expect that treatment to come to her from her past and what she was doing in the past.
Deanna, that's how I wish people would treat me.
I show this because it shows you that women, you know, they like hot girl summer. They like girls weekend out, like we're out of town girls trip for cock carousels. But when the damage is all done, they're usually like maybe not repairable, you know. And they're usually very much broken. And a guy who, for example, like let's say a guy, you know, just on his square and doing his thing, he's not going to really want to build a woman up like this. And he's under no obligation to want to build a woman up like this, you know?
How would that change your life if they treated you that way?
I would be so happy. I don't know. I never even thought about that before.
Notice how she has a lot of rings on to make it look like, okay, there may be a possibility that she may be married or not. But she's wearing all those rings just to, like, I guess you can say, hide the past.
But it'll never happen. That's probably why I don't think about it. I learned that there are some things that no matter how open-minded you are, other people will never be, and that you shouldn't do.
And that's the thing. After this clip, I'm gonna get to it, and the next clip is gonna make a certain group of women mad, and it's gonna make a certain sector mad. But I don't care, you know. If I was suggesting things like, oh yeah, go sleep around, oh yeah, be lewd, oh yeah, don't take care of your body, let your body go, become morbidly obese, then I can understand the backlash. But if I'm not saying these things and the backlash comes, I'm just gonna shrug my shoulders like usual, you know? Like I always say this, and it's always just a reminder to, like, the modern Western woman. You know, this is especially a reminder to the modern Western woman and to the conscious Hotep community. You know, I'm not from this world you guys are from, and I don't go by your rules. That's just the bottom line, you know. I've witnessed life up close so much that I can't go by your rules, you know. If I go by your rules, I would have had like multiple kids by now, and, you know, no pot to piss in. And she's right about not coming back from stuff, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, there's certain things that you can't come back from. You can't come back from, but they're gonna be lingering over you because of what you did.
I send a very strong message to young girls: don't do porn, because as much I understand it, you want to embrace your sexuality, you want to say screw the man, screw whatever, like I can do what I want with my body, but you're just gonna have a life of crap in front of you and dealing with people. And
well, the thing is, many women don't care about that at this time. You know, unfortunately, you see, you know, moms on OnlyFans. And it's like, okay, well, those kids have to live with, you know, their mom being on OnlyFans. And it's, you know, that's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. It's sad but true that this is what we're seeing in today's society. You know, the women are probably not going to listen, because when you have women like Gabrielle Union, when you have women like Sierra, when you have women like Aisha Curry, when you have Jada Pinkett, when you have the Kardashians who encourage this behavior, you know, you can only just expect more to come, more of this behavior to come. You know what I mean? So while her message is noble, I think it's just going to fall on deaf ears, really, you know. Well, let's continue.
companies, and you know, there's companies are allowed to turn you down for work because of anything they want, and you know, they have morality clauses. You can
Well, the thing is that companies do look at your social media and stuff like that. Companies are going to look at like what you were doing outside of work and things like that. Companies are going to look at that, you know, for obvious reasons, like for the simple fact that's their company. That's their company. And then, I mean, for example, in my business, like I I do my business by myself though. You know, I have partners. I don't have employees, you know. But let's say if I wanted to get some employees and I bring her on, I say, okay, I'm going to bring her on to the team. What would I look like hiring a former porn star? You know, what would that seem like? You know, would that be a good, like, reputation? Like, would that be a good representation for my company, or would that be a bad representation for my company? You know, I just have to show Serene Tuba real quick. Dere Def, Serene Tuba, Barker Serene Tuba, Barker Sheikh Ibrafal, Barker Sediba, and Jarama Sediba. Sorry about that, but that's my spiritual guide. But now I want to talk about something. You know, back in the day, I used to go in on Nature Boy a lot and things like that, and I took my foot off the gas because there's nothing really to talk about. It's just a revolving door, you know, a revolving tape, really. You know, it's nothing really going on over there. But I wanted to show what happens when you're in your 20s, but you already hit the wall because of the simple fact you're with a nigga who is a Pookie and Ray Ray type nigga who's just using Hotep as a means to lure you in. Now, I came under a lot of scrutiny for telling it how it is. You know, I said Velvet is like Velvet is for the streets, which she was. You know, she had a baby with Nature Boy and then decided, okay, I want to take a break from his cock carousel. Went back to the ex she cheated on. Got tired of that. Went back to Nature Boy. I said 7 was a thought. And 7, you know, she rode Nature Boy's cock carousel. She left that cock carousel and, you know, got pregnant with another guy. Of course, black Western women attacked me because of the simple fact that I told it how it is, you know. And it is what it is, you know. That's just the case. It is what it is. They didn't like it, but I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of modern Western black women hate me, and I'm okay with that. You know, as long as Allah accepts me, and, you know, as long as I make my tribe proud, you know, that's all that's important to me. Like, I can give a rat's ass if they hate me or not, because most of the ones who hate me are lonely and, you know, bitter. Whereas me, I'm content, I'm focused, and I'm driven to get to the next plateau. And then there was another woman, like, let me get back to it. There was another woman by the name of Natiri, who I also called a thought. Now, Natiri, she went to a series of cults. I think she went to maybe 5 different cults. In each of those cults, she rode the cock carousels. I even think Dr. Umar had a turn with her. But let's just take a look at what happens when you hit the wall and you're not even in your 30s. Let's take a look. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is that her breasts are hanging down to her kneecaps. Mind you, she's like in her 20s, like maybe like early 20s. And she already has breasts of a 65-year-old woman, okay? Notice that she's off rhythm, you know, due to, numerous reasons. But also notice that her, she looks unkept. She just looks unkept, and let's look a little bit more. Hold on. Another thing I noticed, I don't know if I'm tripping, but it looks like her vaginal area is leaking through the jeans. I could be tripping, but I think I see, some fluid coming through those jeans. I could be tripping though. I'm not quite sure. But at this point, Nature Boy is just doing this for views, Now, granted, she has a kid too. And her kid was the result of her messing around with her cousin's man, I think. So she was already like a promiscuous type before she went to Nature Boy. But the problem is that kid is probably going to face the same thing at school too. They're going to ask them, what does your mom do? And he's going to have no choice but to say she was just, I don't know what the kid would say. I don't know what he would say. Because the teachers would probably trip if he used provocative ways to describe her. I guess the only thing he could say is that his mom was a street woman, that his mom was what's a good word? His mom was a street squatter, or something like that.
Hold on. We gotta do a special for Malia.
Yeah. Come on, bounce beat. Everybody got you on the 17 nigga. Everybody got you on the Southside nigga.
So he tries to give her so much attention and stuff like that, but the physical attention is not there, you know. I can't get over the fact that her breasts are going down to her kneecaps and her body looks so uneven, you know. And her hair looks unkept, of course, even if it's natural. You know what I mean? And it just looks weird, you know. She looks like dirty, you know. And because he only likes anal penetration, like, that's why she's dancing the way she's dancing, because like that's just what it is, you know. Now I want you to look at her behind. Her behind is already sagging at like 23 years old. Like, you know what I mean? I know I'm gonna sound like a asshole, but I wear my hair in braids. You know, I have straight 4-back braids. And the sad thing is I have more hair than all of those people combined over there. And the other sad thing is, due to my exercise regimen and things like that. And I'm not saying this in a way of like sounding like gay or sounding like homo or anything like that. But there's no reason why I should have more of a posterior that basically stays up than any of them over there, any of those women over there. She's 20 something with a saggy butt. Make it make sense. And that's why they did it for Instagram. They did it for the Now, this mulatto right here, again, rode the cock carousel. She was with many guys over there. And the thing is that we're not going to be under any obligation to accept them once this is all said and done. I'm just going to use bad French when I say this is all worn out pussy. Like every single one of them. Like no guy is going to take them serious. Like a guy is just going to be like, okay, what a guy is going to say is like, okay, I'll run through you, but I'm not going to run no cash to you. That's what a guy is going to say when it comes down to it. One of the women, and even I knew this was going to happen. One of the women who was over there, her name is Tori. And you can tell that she's not happy with her husband. Her husband, unfortunately, is a simp beta who decided to take her in as a single mother. Now, I wouldn't have done that if I were him. But I guess he wanted companionship and he decided to do so. But it was a mistake. And with this mulatto, again, her breasts are hanging down to her kneecaps. And her belly almost looks a little bit protruding. But let's continue. Now, granted, he doesn't really care for her that much, but because of the views, that's what he's looking for at this time. As you see, she has nothing really to offer in the body department nor the face department. And her feet are big as shit. As I said before, none of these women he has over there are good looking. The thing is this. You are what you attract, basically. You know, what you attract is what you are. I'm not going to sit here and cap and brag, but I attract foreign women. I attract women who, you know, are quiet. I attract women sometimes who may be well off. Today when I was going to run an errand, this one old Belgian woman, she started chopping it up with me, and she has an American Express black card. So I attract that kind of I want to say that kind of mindset of person, you know, because she had a black card. And for those of you guys who don't know, a black card is a credit card with unlimited funds on it. You can literally, like, basically with a black card, I can literally go get a Rolls Royce Wraith, and all I have to do is say, okay, I'll put it on my black card, no problem. Here's one more video of like how the modern Western woman, even in a cult, is still the modern Western woman. But let's go.
You good? No, you're good. I'm just gonna take these out of your way.
So now he brings them to the gym. But the thing is like when you're dealing with like Pookie and Ray Ray, they have good pipe, but they don't really offer anything else. So how are you going to go to a gym when you're malnourished and when you don't eat often? You know, how are you going to have strength to do the exercises? But let's see.
All right, take a rest.
The sad thing is like people in the gym are probably thinking like, are these fools even here to work out, or are they here to just make Instagram stories all day? You know, like that's probably what they're thinking, you know? They're probably thinking that.
You good? No, you're good. I'm just gonna take these out of your way. All right, take a rest. You want to do it? See my shirt? Yes. You want to make? Yeah, I want you to finish your sets first.
Now, the guy over there, it's easy work for him, and it's probably because he ate, and it's probably because he's well nourished. Whereas her, with her kneecap titties, she's not well nourished, you know?
want you to do 30, okay? Right now you got 10 in. I want you to do two more sets of 10, okay? All right, you ready? Go ahead. Slow though. Do them. Take your time. Yo, good looking out, Visa. Exclusive gifts.
And that's what they do it for. They just want gifts. That's it. She looks like in those little sets, she looks like she was about to die, you know. But I showed those clips just to show you that, like, the modern Western woman soul is for sale, even at the expense of her own kid. You know, again, she has kids, but no, she has a kid, but she rather get what she's getting out of him, which is nothing more than ashy HIV infected dingling and a place to live, and your occasional beatings from here to there. And that's the last note. Don't let it fool you. Hotep women like Pookie and Ray Ray a lot too. They may say these terms, like they may say the peace God, they may say the grand rising, but you know, they like the same type of men who, you know, that they were dealing with outside of the conscious community. It's just a plus when now the ones that they're dealing with talk the lingo, but still are the same way. They don't really like the one who actually is making progress and striving to be better, physically, mentally, you know, spiritually. But again, man, I'm just gonna say this last thing. Although the modern Western woman will sell her soul, don't let the devil get a 2-for-1 special by you including your soul in her conundrum, because you're compelled to try to save her or try to seek companionship with her, which you shouldn't, you know. Let her sleep in the bed she made alone. But anyhow, Fool is signing out. Njarama.